Good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
Today we are going to continue with the lectures of Adventist Health Message. And today we are going to do about scientific foundation. Okay? The scientific foundation in the world, in the 21st century, there is always new things that we have seen introduced into health. So, but the first thing that we want to know is about health. Why is health important? Why is health important? So we see that our focus is in the Bible, right? Because the Bible is the foundation for us. So as a Christian, we know that the Bible is around like from 1500 BC, right, to 100 AD. This is the scriptures, all right? This is the Bible. The Bible was written from 1500 BC to 100 AD. But when we talk about scientific foundation, we know that the scientific foundation starts from the 21st century. Right? It's something new. But we have the Bible, it's very old. We have many knowledge from the Bible that it's already there. Right? So the knowledge here in the biblical foundation is through the revelation and theology. But here, the health that we see in the world right now is the knowledge through empiric and assumptions and methodology. Right? Here it's the Bible, and here is empirical. So it's from day to day they were seeing what is good and what wasn't good. Something that was already in the Bible. So we have, as I talked before, we have a Greek dualism that it talks about the immortal soul. It's separated from the relevant physical body. So for the world, the soul is different from the body, from the world. But we know this is wrong, right? Because the body is a soul, right? The Bible gives us this foundation, but the problem is that the world thinks that everything is separated. So from that situation, we see that it was not easy for them to find solution for some illness, some sickness, right? They thought that it was random things that were coming to life, not something that because of a specific habits that they were having, But what it says, the Bible it says the soul is the whole body, right? And the body is the visible expression of the soul, right? Why? Because if our body is not good, how is going to be our expression of the soul? Sad, maybe anxious, right? We will not have a good anxiety. Okay, we will not have a good, visible expression to the people, right? And then we have the modern biopsychosocial way. What it says that the human health is a product of everything because it's interconnected. And then we have seen also these days the modern lifestyle has changed. Everything is related to lifestyle. You will see the news, you will see the reels, you will see Instagram, the applications, you will see everything related to health that help people to improve their lifestyle. But they do not connect everything to God. They connect it only to what? To the knowledge, to the, let's say, the diet, to the strength that supposedly people think that they get from themselves. Okay? So, but we know that there is a connection between all of them. We have three groups, and these three groups are connected. The first one is the mind. right? In the mind, what is it? Is the dimensions of that impact what you have. People will get sick just because they are thinking too much in a problem, right? So people will get sick. So the mind is connected. What is the other one? Is the spirit. The spirit, right? If our physical body serves as the active, person to God, we have a manifestation in our lives, right? Will be an internal state, a good internal state, right? So if we have God in our lives, then our mind will be also connected. But one important point also is the body. Why the body is important? Because if the body, you don't take care of your body, then what is going to happen? This is not going to work. Why? Because here in the middle is your health. Here in the middle is your health. If we don't take care of these three stages of our lives, then we will not have health. Remember when we talk about life to the fullest? God wants us to live to the fullest. He wants us to walk in life and get closer to Him. But the science, they discover things recently. But we have the knowledge from long ago, right? So there is a loop of activity that we should understand as well. The first one is the physical one. This is a loop. So the first one is a physical one, right? And then this will be again. So in the physical one, it's our behavior. It's how we do systematic exercise, for example, right? What benefits our body when we practice some sports or when we walk, when we do some exercise, all right? And then is the biochemical output, the biochemical output. What happened there is related with the production of our bodies when we do exercise, right? There is a production of biochemical thing that is happening inside of our bodies that help our mechanism to work well, right? If I do exercise in the morning and I go to bed in the evening, I will sleep well. Why? Because the energy that I have in my body is already, used. If I am not using that energy in the morning, then I go to bed in the evening and I will be like, awake. Why? Because I'm not using my body as well, Or maybe I sleep in the afternoon and I get tired again in the evening, or I cannot sleep in the evening because obviously I am not measuring, I am not scheduling good my day, Maybe I eat a lot. They affect also what we have in our biochemical output, in our mechanism in our body. And the third one is the mental outcome. So this connects to this. The mental outcome is the result. Alright? If I don't do exercise, if I don't eat good, my diet is not good, what's going to happen with my mental? I will be heavy. I will not be able to think very good, If I don't sleep good, what is going to happen in the day? I will be tired. I will not be able to focus on something, Maybe I will be hungry, and then I will be eating many other things. So, there is one last thing I want to tell you, that the scientific foundation in the world, we have seen that they follow the behavioral epidemiology methodology that consists in 5 steps. They see how the illness is connected to the behavior of the person, Then what the people do, what the scientific do. They measure what affects the body. Then they see what is the influences that have, according to the identity of the things that are affecting the body. And then they evaluate what kind of interventions they should do to put it in a specific, let's say, project, and to translate it into a research so they can know what they can do. You know. But the interesting point today we see is that the scientific foundations gives many things that were already in the past said in the Bible. You know, the Bible is the foundation for our lives. We see, of course, scientific foundations that are related with what is in the Bible. So if we don't understand what God wants to give us today, we will not be able to understand also the scientific foundation. You know, there is one more, last thing that I want to comment today is the Chronos timeline. So normally in life we go like this. So here is, we start here with 0. We were born. 10, 20, 30, 40. And then it comes the problems here. Here we don't have problems. No illness maybe. After 40, the diseases start to appear. Circulatory diseases here. We have cancer maybe. We have diabetes, obesity. All of this because we reach the peak of our life and we didn't care of the first timeline of our lives. You know? That's why we need to take care of our bodies in this stage of our lives. If we take care of our lives when we are young, then our lives will be good when we are old. This is kind of a rule, right? So, this is important today. I want you to understand that the scientific foundation also helps us to understand and to see that God was right when He gave us the advice through the Bible. Okay? God bless.